our voices, and then they can flood the chat room with porn.
Yeah, no, I think people are waiting.
Maybe that's Mr. Mike and Ed Chan's secrets. Maybe they queue up a bunch of stuff, have it all ready. Then when the show starts.
There's music on in the chat room. All right. Not chat room. That thing.
On the stream?
The stream. Thank you. There's music on in the chat room.
Okay.
I just heard my voice.
Yeah, I started the YouTube thing.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to copy that and put it in.
Copy that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just start real quick.
All right.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You like that? Yeah, you like.
I don't like that.
Hi, Jay. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
This is madness. This is.
Mommy and Daddy are yelling at you.
What's an Eiffel Tower, stupid?
Play with my tits.
No, fuck your opening.
Who's Bunghole Bunny?
It's really bad idea not to talk about those things and not to really have some kind of dialogue about what's going on.
Whatever shall we talk about?
Hi, and welcome to Pokin With the Stick podcast. Is that Big Fatty?
Wow.
Welcome to Pokin With the podcast for 2018. Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Oh. Ooh. All right, I sent Adam a message.
Oh. You know what? I dread getting old.
You know, Toppy, have you been having trouble connecting to the stream? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wrong stream. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Oh. Oh. George in Atlanta was reading a book just minutes ago, and now he is here for the porn.
All right.
Oh,
Good.
George in Atlanta, would you like to join in on this clusterfuck?
It's starting off on the wrong foot. Isn't it wonderful?
Well, you know, they had to probably rearrange a lot of stuff to do the live shows from
New Orleans.
So more than likely, they just maybe didn't change all the settings back or whatever. So
Sure, saw your name and just delete.
I'm sure it's not because he hates me.
I'm sure it's not the operator errand.
No.
Never.
So who wants to hear about New Orleans?
I do.
You. I loved it.
Did you? Oh, poor Big Fatty, you missed it.
I know.
Or did you not remember any of it?
Well,
y'all, can you believe it's this time last week it was over halfway over?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was just getting ready to set up for the show.
Yeah.
Right. So
we were probably snacking over in the food court, and Gavin was making us all answer a bunch of questions.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. That was good. That was a good idea.
Yeah, that did work out well. I just feel like I should have. I felt like I talked too much, and you guys should. Which is unusual because it's usually me not getting a word in.
Well,
how
there you
true.
Go. The live shows, you can be the star.
Yeah,
there you go.
But if you want to listen to this, they can't hear me, so I say it.
But you're recording it nonetheless, right?
No, yeah. I'll just record it off the YouTube thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going to record the show.
Yeah, it'll come in. It'll be fun. So it's fine.
Now, do you think? All right, here's a question. Do you think the people that were in New Orleans had more fun, or do you think the people that weren't in New Orleans were more jealous?
I don't know.
That's a toss-up.
That's really a deep one. say it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good time. I had a great time, and it was great. I mean, all these people that I know of, I finally got to meet. You know, like Jay. It was the first time I met Jay face to face,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt like I knew you.
Well,
Yeah.
you fucking talk to him every week.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Now, just out of curiosity, how did you know it was Jay?
I recognize the dog.
Okay.
I don't know. Poor Jay. It was a shame. Did you realize? Did you know we were writing all kinds of things all over your head at the bar?
that would have been fine. Like here's where I like to be touched.
All right.
Oh well, the strippers knew where to touch him. That's for damn sure.
They did.
What happened with the strippers? I guess it was on Friday or Saturday night. One of them took a tumble off the bar in front of everybody.
Oh,
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that either. I don't think.
I saw a picture of some guy on the floor with his legs in the air.
Are you sure that wasn't Mean Keen?
Yeah, right. No, it was. I started reading down, and it was like, oh no, he had just fallen off the bar, and there's a dot on his head, and it started bleeding, and I'm like, wow, I know all this.
Oh yeah. I think that was during the contest that Jeremy judged. That because there was a competition thing.
Oh,
One of the guys
know about that either.
Yeah.
That was over at Oz.
Yeah, and that was the night before most people got there. That was Wednesday, wasn't it? No, maybe it was. I don't remember. Maybe it was Thursday.
It's all a blur.
Well, how do you know that wasn't him showing the stigmata?
On his
The stigmata.
Oh, because he showered, so there was no stigmata.
All right.
All right.
Toppy, did you listen at all last weekend?
Yes, he was in the chat room. He was not home.
You know, I didn't look at the chat room hardly at all during my show. It was, and I apologize right now for that.
Oh, well, Jimmy, with all due respect, I was not there at all because I was working. And by the time I got home, y'all in New Orleans had wrapped up.
Oh my God!
For the day. So I missed everything because I was a working man.
Well, that is you. So you had the best Pride 48 of all, then,
right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, seriously, I missed everything.
Oh, really?
Well, thanks for ruining everything. Okay, just hang up on him. Okay. He didn't join us last weekend, and now he's put his picture of a 12-year-old Toppy up instead of his real picture. So
nice.
Oh.
No, Jim, I think what you were saying before is such an important piece of going to one of these things for the first time. Is I felt the same way. Like I felt like I knew so many of the people that I met my first Pride 48, and it's just a really cool feeling to feel like you're there to meet a friend. And in this community, a lot of the, like at that point I was just a listener. I had never been on a show, so most people didn't know me except as a caller, and to their shows. But I felt just amazed, I can't talk. I was amazed at how warm and wonderful everybody was when they met me, because they just are so welcoming, and like, oh, we're all listeners ourselves, and
yeah, you know how like when you meet somebody for the first time, it's a hard time getting them out of your ass. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like they're up on your side. Like they're at least I am. When I meet somebody for the first time, it's like I tend to maybe show a little bit more attention than, say, like a year down the road. There, like, you didn't have that, even though it was the first time meeting a lot of these people face to face. It was like I already knew them. I knew their story. You know what I mean? And it was like nice and warm and welcoming. I thought.
Oh,
Wesley Bell added a new photo.
Magic.
Anyway.
Jim, because you're the only one who hadn't been to a Pride 48, and Bill in St. Louis is in the room. He hadn't been to one. Oh, that was DJ Ron, I guess, disappearing.
DJ Ron.
So,
okay.
But anyway, what was your favorite part of the weekend?
Oh my God, the whole weekend itself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, were there?
Could you say that again? You got.
Were there any surprises for you?
Yeah, a lot of surprises.
Okay. Give us a few.
I'll give a few. First of all, the city of New Orleans was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The food was excellent. Okay. The people were.
That's a biggie coming from you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the Pride 48 people, overwhelmingly wonderful.
So you were expecting us to all be sons of bitches, is what you're saying?
I thought they would be a little bit more like you, and they. And
how dare you?
Like everybody, most of the people that were there were doing podcasts, and I got to listen to a lot of podcasts there. You know, more than I will be. You know, more than I want. I want to stay on top of these podcasts more after going to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like before it was like my podcast experience was limited to just you and say Turnip Head and
like the Smellcast.
And but throw that one in there.
and just from listening, like I enjoyed conversations, inappropriate conversations.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One really blew me away. I thought it was going to be all about blowjobs and assholes or something, and then they're talking about real subjects and real people and
Adam. By the way, Gavin, Adam says, "Hold, please." Of course, I sent him that message 10 minutes ago.
Oh, he's been live too, so.
All right, whatever. So,
Bill in St. Louis says we were overwhelmed by how welcoming and open everyone was. He agrees with me absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That was even another thing was that I really surprised me was like a lot of these people that I hear Big Fatty talking about were there. I mean, I know the bunch of people, the ones from Charleston, from Augusta. Those guys I knew already, so that was kind of like seeing friends again. Okay, but then the other ones like Digger and T. Wiggles or Bill Craig, you know, people like that. Cronehaven and was it B, her friend? Were there, yep. And now Cronehaven and her friend, is it her lover?
No.
Okay, her
travel together.
Cronehaven and her
like traveling buddy, yeah.
Yeah, and B, her name was. I was of all people, they surprised me because it was like I knew them. You know, she complimented me on a recipe she found somewhere on a page, and she wanted to know where she could find this ingredient or things like that. I'm trying to think of some of the other people. TJ, it was she flipped me the hell out when she came dressed up like
Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis Diller, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
she looked amazing.
I'm sorry?
She looked amazing.
She did. I mean, I don't know. Is there a gay man trapped in that woman's body? I don't know.
Yes.
or she? No, that's just her. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of some of the people. I mean, it was nice to see Christina Hill. Okay. The Greetings from Nowhere crowd. I enjoyed watching them put on that show.
Did you get a chance to meet Nicole?
Was that the one who I don't see this, I don't see that, or
bye Nicole.
Yeah. Bye.
I didn't get to speak with her, but I mean, she was somebody from that show. inappropriate conversations. I mean, she stood her ground, and I respect her completely for it. You know what I mean? Like they were, that was a whole different side of people.
Right.
Right.
No, and one of the things I love with that group is with Christina, TJ, and Nicole is they're diverse in their thoughts, feelings, how they express things. But it's so cool because each of them.
That was diverse. Thank you, Big Fatty.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, it was dessert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each of them can stand their ground, and yet they can all be totally friendly with each other and okay with that. Like they, and they all speak their minds. So they're all good folks.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think if there's I mean, I could probably go on and on and on forever.
Okay, so let's get down to well, first of all, Toppy, it was lovely seeing you there last weekend. Cronehaven on her name tag wrote Toppy Smelly.
Yes,
she did,
I saw a photo of that. And it cracked me up. That was wonderful.
Okay.
That's Cronehaven for you right there.
You were there in spirit. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Adam Burns has sent another message. Tell him to use username Gavin and password 12345.
Wow, is that why?
Thank you for announcing that on the stream.
Wow. That's a
Well, I'm
very
sure you can change it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you going to try it now, Gavin?
I guess you better.
You know what? I enjoyed Gary from Albuquerque from
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Albuquerque, Portland.
I believe Gary's in the chat room.
He
He can't hear us, but he's in the chat room.
So if he's watching the YouTube, he can.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let me put the announcement in.
That did not work, Big Fatty.
Okay, he said, "Does that wait a minute?" Lowercase Gavin.
Oh, he is. Gary is listening.
I did.
Okay, didn't work. Didn't work. All right.
Yeah, Gary is watching on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm going to send him your phone number so I don't have to incur these fucking text messages.
Well, tell him we can't do it right now.
Okay.
But send him my phone number and we'll deal with it during the week or something.
Who are you? You're Gavin.
Yeah, so tell him for right now we'll just do the YouTube for this week and that's fine.
Okay.
Hey, George in Atlanta, are you listening on YouTube?
Otherwise I'll be doing that the entire time and accomplish nothing. So
yeah, right. So Big Fatty, what? Oh, you're busy.
No, I'm listening.
Okay. Well, no, we might require an answer. Jay,
Okay.
what were you impressed with besides the fucking strippers putting their crotches in your face? Because did they expect you to feel it with your face?
I don't know, maybe.
Wow.
But and I didn't mind.
I gotta try that shit.
Yeah. No, and I mean that's the parts everybody joked about and talked about, but I really enjoyed the food. It's heavy food, but it is so good. I love deep fried stuff, and that was bountiful. Those macaroni and cheese balls from the little food court were, oh my gosh, amazing.
Are you still talking about the macaroni and cheese balls? And
oh yeah.
Everybody wants to know. I didn't order them. I ate one of Gavin's.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and
You throw up.
No, I
No.
Right, they were like the size of baseballs.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Thank you.
Did anybody have crawfish etouffee?
Yes.
Oh, chippy.
No, I didn't have it. I'm trying to think who sat across the table from me at the Big Fatty. You didn't have it.
Crawfish etouffee.
No, somebody had it. I remember the bowl and the little thing of rice. Who sat next to me to my left? Big Fatty. You remember
Where?
at the restaurant? Denny's.
Beanies. Seafood?
Thursday night.
Yes.
Let's see. Where were you?
Where
were you seated?
Right across from you. We were looking right at each other.
We were.
Yes.
Somebody
to my
next to you was
it Gary?
Who?
Gary in Albuquerque?
No.
No, he was next to you. And DJ Ron was at our table, right?
No.
No. Oh my God. Good thing.
Archer was at our table.
He was to my right.
Was he wearing plaid?
Yes.
He was.
Okay.
Tim in Alaska.
Oh, okay. Tim in Alaska.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Isn't that sad that Gary's probably the oldest person here, and he's the only one.
He's the only one that could remember.
Well, no,
all the time.
He's also the only one who doesn't drink.
Yeah, well, that could be part of it.
Well, that does have something to do with it.
Yeah,
now,
our gray matter may be a bit smoother than this.
Right.
Gavin, were there any surprises from you this weekend?
From me or
from him?
Oh, shut up.
Yes, we hid his pants.
So having been to most all of the Pride 48s, if not all,
I think all but one. So
okay,
but no, I mean, no real surprises. I mean, it was nice to see a couple new faces.
Thank you.
That hadn't been there before. Barry, Bill, and Bill. I can't remember your boyfriend's name. I'm sorry.
Craig.
Who else was new? Oh, the two guys from the one podcast.
Gayish.
Yeah, Gayish. They were fun. They were fun.
Mike and Kyle. Yeah.
They had a nice little game. Wasn't it a game we were playing? During there?
They did hand job. The hand job.
Right.
They holler out hand job.
That was kind of a theme through the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But
now, Gavin, was there any inappropriate touching this past weekend?
What? No,
I'm sure all the touching was very appropriate and welcomed.
All my virginity has grown back. It's been so long. Shit. Jim, what was it? 2 nights I came home about 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Well, that could be just from drinking, but
no.
Okay.
No, the sun.
I was the first to discover the meeting in the ladies' room. So yes, there was.
All right.
So.
Well, there was one night I was in bed and I heard you stumble in, and I said, "What time is it?" The sun was just about coming up, and you said, "It's 4:30. I got lost."
I did. This is what happened.
And I'm like, all right, well, you're home, and like back to sleep I went.
I was pretty well lit, of course. And what happened was I made my way out to Canal Street. I decided to walk instead of, trying to Uber or whatever, because I don't have an Uber on my phone yet. But I'm after this weekend and seeing how easy it was, I'm definitely doing it. I got out to Canal Street and I started walking up Canal Street. So I kept walking and not paying attention to what's on the sides of the road. I wandered about 6 blocks past the road that the hotel was on.
Well, now the hotel, the road that the hotel was on is not the same name of the road that crosses Canal Street.
You are correct. And this is part of my getting lost. Anyway, I turned around and I started walking, but I was like, I've had to have walked way too far because I've just been walking forever. So I turned around and started walking back. Well, I don't know how I got turned around, but I was not in anywhere I should have been. So fortunately, I turned on my phone. I had to I was able to understand what I was doing enough to turn on my phone and, find out where I was and where I was going and put in the Holiday Inn, get directions back. And like I was probably about 8 blocks from it.
Oh my God! And
I was on the other side of the hospital after I had started walking back.
You had already
Get,
8 blocks past the Superdome.
I was far, and there was no reason I should have been there.
that is correct.
Fortunately, it was 4:30 in the morning, and even the criminals are sleeping. So
yeah, Gary and I did the same thing. One of the early nights, the first night that we went out. So
yeah, I remember you and Gary leaving together. So
yeah,
I got a stupid question.
okay, y'all. It's now time for tonight's stupid question.
Da, 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 da. Stupid question from Toppy. So, listen, I remember back in Katrina that a million people were sheltered in the Superdome. Is that where you guys were?
not far from it.
We were
We
like
were,
3 blocks from it.
yeah.
But I mean, you were in a super dome.
We were in a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
the Holiday Inn Superdome, which
Okay,
is
so-
the Holiday Inn that's closest to the Superdome.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
connected to it.
It's not part of the Superdome.
Two different things. Okay, I wondered.
We could see the dome from our room. That helped.
The Superdome was probably closer than Bourbon Street was, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was closer than Bourbon Street was. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you're about the fun part of Bourbon Street or just Bourbon Street in general?
No, the fun part.
Yeah, the fun part was definitely closer. The Superdome was definitely closer.
Yeah, but
I mean, Bourbon Street was really only about 5-6 blocks, but that's just off Canal. That's
right.
The good part. The good part is all the way down. So
I think one of the things about New Orleans, if you ask anybody to name a street in New Orleans, they're going to say Bourbon Street.
right.
I thought Canal was just as much. I mean, it didn't have the bars and the carrying on and the mayhem, but that's their main drag.
Yeah.
Street. I mean, maybe other people know that. I don't know that much about that city, but what a nice city. I mean,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's
very easy to get around. I mean, the main areas.
Very French. I mean, I know it's a French city, and
I have a slight, and this is not to be mean, but a slight criticism of some of the people that were there. Why are people so afraid of public transportation?
not everybody's used to it, guys.
Nobody wanted to use the
streetcars.
The streetcars, and it's like for $9, you can ride all you want for 3 whole days. Jim and I used the hell out of that. We got more than our money's worth.
Yeah, their public.
Oh, that's great.
Their public transportation system is excellent.
And it was all people going to work. It wasn't like it was like drug addicts or something on the
right.
Well, no, I think public transportation gets a bad reputation, just from what they see of like a New York subway. Sitting on a streetcar is a lot different from a subway. Those streetcars, man, I made sure I got pictures. I haven't seen any so well kept in 100 years. I mean, even those Philadelphia surface cars, the refurbished ones don't look that good.
Jimmy, the streetcars, is this a system that runs on the electricity or?
Yes. Overhead.
It does. The overhead wires.
Yeah, the overhead wires. And I mean, the drivers, when they had to turn or switch tracks, on 2 of the lines, the drivers actually got out of the car. They got the giant key, like the 6-foot steel rod key, and actually had to physically, manually move the tracks so they could switch tracks. It was incredible. And even the streetcar drivers were so helpful with everything. I mean,
most, not all, but most.
We didn't have any that were bad.
There was one that she was a little attitudey, but I mean, she might have just had a bad day.
Well, everybody has a bad day.
But I mean, for the most part, they were real helpful. I mean, you asked where a lot of them could tell we were tourists because I mean, we looked like tourists. I had a man bag on, so it was like we're plaid shorts, so definitely tourists. But and the first thing they're like, oh, well, where do you want to go? I'll make sure you get there. You know what I mean? Like they were literally like tour guides. You know that when we went on the Green Line, the Green Line goes out into the Garden District, and when we got on that, he's like, "Well, where do you want to go? I'll make sure you know. Are you sure you're on the right?" And we're like, "Oh, we don't care. We just want to go. You know, we just want to ride and see some sights." He goes, and I said, Jim said, "This is a dark Garden District, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "So we'll just ride it out until it's done, and then come back." And that's what we did.
Yeah. I did. What was it? Loyola University was out there, and
Yeah.
Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah.
Tulane was right near the hotel.
That was Tulane Hospital.
Why are you staring at me, Cat? Well, the cat is sitting here on the chair, like staring at me because I guess because I'm talking, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, can you fuck Orleans?
Yeah. Folks, it's supposedly a stray cat they're taking care of.
It
It's
is?
not their cat.
No.
It is. She won't. She won't let you touch her. She'll touch you.
Yeah.
She'll like rub up against you, but you.
But
and
it's kind of like Jim.
If I were to stand up now, she'd run to the back door, and out the door she'd go.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not that friendly.
Jay, did you have any surprises last weekend?
Surprise.
Okay, great.
Surprise. Okay, great.
Other than me forgetting you.
Other than you forgetting what?
I forgot him on what was it, Saturday night?
That that was a surprise.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Oh, is that the night that Durwood and Jeremy had to bring him back?
No.
No.
Saturday after our show and the podcasts ended, when we all got up and left, Gavin said, just shoot me a text when you're down, or I'll text you, if we're waiting, and we'll meet in the lobby. And so I went up to my room, got ready to, go out, and called my husband and talked to him for a while. And then I headed down to the lobby, and Tom and Terry saw me coming off the elevator and said, "Hey, where are you going?" And I said, "Oh, some guys are going out, and I'm going to go with them." And so they said, "Okay, here's a seat in the lobby." And we were hanging out, chatting for a few minutes, and they said, "We don't see anybody else." And I'm like, "Okay, let me start texting people and see where everybody is." So I texted sent a text to Gavin. I sent one to Barron, and tried calling Gavin, tried calling Barron, and it wasn't getting through to anybody. And then all of a sudden I get texts back, both from Barron and Gavin, that were like, "Oh my God, we forgot you."
I felt so bad.
Oh, I wasn't worried about it, because by then Tom and Terry were like, do you want to just have dinner? Like, we're just headed out for food, like, join us. And I went, oh my gosh, what a great chance to hang out and meet, and talk with them, because I've never had that before. So I was just as happy to do that.
By the way, Tom said, "I just really love Jim and Gavin's show. I can't wait to be in the chat room for their show." I notice he's not here tonight.
But Bill said the same thing, and he's here.
Yeah.
But Craig is on his iPad looking at porn.
Oh, there you go. It's pretty good porn, isn't it, Craig? I'm going to tell you what, Mr. Mike posted some little hairy butted ginger a while back. Oh my God, that was lovely. So anyway,
here, I'll start.
Some of the best parts of last weekend were just those little opportunities, like with Tom and Terry, where I got to chat and visit with people who I didn't know already. And I think that's always, you just never know, because it's so random, right? You just are at the same place, same food court or whatever, and next thing you know, you're chatting, up somebody and getting to know them, which is just, it's really cool.
But Tom and Terry is a perfect example of how warm and friendly everybody is to each other. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah, Gavin and Baron Frosty forgot Jay. All right, and somebody else was right there. Come on, let's go. We'll take you.
Mhm.
Everything. Everybody was nice like that.
Mhm.
I think.
Thank you for reposting that, Gavin.
You're welcome.
That's just
Wanted
that's
to
just
enjoy.
heavenly.
This is the second time.
Yeah, it's a redheaded guy.
He's very pale, a little pink, but he's got like a beard and his hairy freaking arms, like this fuzzy, hairy arm, chest, and butt, and like a real perky round, like two grapefruits fighting under him.
Just lovely.
All his hair
So,
Cheetos.
Oh,
No, you know what?
Cheeto.
No, you know
Oh,
what
poor Ricky.
reminds me of? Chow mein noodles, like in the can.
Jim, you are fucking crazy. Okay.
So,
What else is new? Now, Jim, will you come back to the next Pride 48?
yeah, why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just checking, making sure.
I really,
Yeah.
I have. I don't know how I'm going to work it in with all my puppet
This
show,
fest, right?
because I know that. Well, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
skip the Florida part occasionally. I
Now,
had a.
Gary- Are you done?
Hold on a second, Gavin. Let me think of something else to say when you open your mouth.
Exactly. Gary is saying in the chat room that he said, "Big Fatty and Gavin, I was more open and talkative at this Pride 48
And did you have more fun, Gary?
compared to the others."
So,
That's Gary in Phoenix and Albuquerque and New Mexico.
and where somewhere Portland or wherever he's at the home,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Rainbow Vista.
Rainbow Rapids. Okay, that's no Rainbow Rapids is Granny's ass's name. So, by the way, Granny will not be joining us when we go out tonight because Granny had some Rainbow Rapids.
Oh no!
Her.
Oh no!
So I told him to call it in for Shark Week.
Were you guys
Anyway,
supposed to be in Augusta this weekend?
no, it's next weekend.
Oh, next weekend. Okay.
Next weekend.
Hey, I'd like to hear from anybody who went on one of the ghost walks.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, I was going to bring that up. Go ahead. Jim.
Jay, you were on it too, right?
Oh yeah.
I think the only Jay, you and Gerard, you crack me the hell up because Gerard keeps you moving at a nice walking pace, and it was like you were always in front of everybody a lot of the times, blind leading everyone. Toppy, what did you want to know about the ghost tour?
No, just what the jive was, what the feeling was. Was it a little spooky? Was it?
Was you really got?
Well,
It was. Who was that guy?
Jesus Christ!
Who's
It's Toppy. He's started poppers again.
Oh, while I'm talking about ghosts,
I was a little emotional.
Ghost tour was very informative. Oh shit. It was very informative. It was like a historical tour.
Yeah.
More than anything, it was like it wasn't like, oh, we feel the ghosts here or anything like that. It was just, here's a house. This was previously a convent, and the nun sold it to somebody else who used it as a bordello.
Yeah.
As nuns do.
Where they skinned everybody alive.
Yeah, it was like stories.
yeah.
Stories exactly like that, or it primarily centered on the women, like our tour for of the women killers and
Right.
ghosts.
Yeah, our entire tour was all women.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it was a tour about women, not for women. And
Even though it was all women.
yeah,
No.
it was really good.
Hey, girl, hey.
You
Jim,
go on a ghost
Jim, I
tour.
want to tell you something. I just went out all the way out and got a cigarette, and came back, and the cat just stood there and stared at me. She's comfortable. She's not getting up.
Probably smell like cheese or
We'll
tuna.
never get rid of her now.
The one thing, we're walking on these little tiny streets. The streets are not really much, you could barely get one car down the streets. They're not very big. They're horse carts, really.
Or two podcasters.
Or two
Yeah.
we were ran into probably 6 or 7 other tours going on at the same ghost tours going on at the same time. So ghost tours is a big business there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I know we were walking down the block and somehow I stopped and I was like listening to another tour and I'm like, wait a minute, where is everybody? And then along comes hobbling Granny and Durwood or something. I'm like,
poor hobbling.
Oh, are you the one that stopped at the wrong with the wrong group? Okay. I think Granny said something about. She goes, "Oh my God, he stopped at the wrong group."
That was a group. There must have been about 50 or 60 people in that group, and I'm like, my God, how can they even hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the ones, or one of the locations we stopped, I know there was another tour that we kind of went past as we grouped up for our tour. And then on the other side of the street, down the way we had come from, there was another one. And I realized, wow, there's 3 of these good-sized groups of people, like all just crowded in the street. And
I mean,
we had to crowd in to hear her. She was projecting really well, but
that was
you have to stay close.
There had to be that we passed at least like 15 others.
Oh yeah.
Literally, but they were like up the street and stuff on the side streets, but you could tell that she would go, because there's obviously a lot of places that you can talk about and they seem to know all about. But you could tell that she wanted to go to a specific place, but she had to make a turn because there was already a group in front of it.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Because I guess they can't all coordinate together. So the nice thing is there's so much there to actually, talk about.
Right.
That as long as they know all of it. And she was very, very good as far as like information and stuff like that. She knew. And it was nice that people were actually asking questions, because like a lot of times you go on these tours and people don't ask questions. I guess they're afraid of feeling dumb.
At the beginning,
we're tourists. We don't give a shit.
Well, it was funny because at the beginning we really didn't. Like the first couple of stops, and she was kind of like, "Come on," kept encouraging us. And then as the first or second one trickled out, all of a sudden, boom! From then on, everybody was asking questions.
When she started telling us about Bricktop, do you remember that?
That was my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was an impressive.
How many people know somebody like Bricktop? This woman, she just killed everybody.
Anybody pissed her off and looked at her wrong.
Right.
Cool.
I want to know what that woman looked like, Bricktop. I just imagine this big, heavy.
Well, I didn't go on the ghost tour, but from what you're describing, I'm getting the vision of Cronehaven.
Oh, Lordy.
We're Cronehaven.
I liked her.
You know what? And another thing I found out this weekend, I was unaware that people didn't realize that I do a YouTube video and the Tumblr feed, and that there's a Pride 48 recipe page.
Right.
I didn't realize, like, there's a lot of people that don't know this, and I post it, whenever I get, but nobody sends me recipes, but whatever. Recipes, send them to pokinit1@gmail.com.
You should post it every
now. What was your favorite bar? Well, I know what Jay's was.
Yeah, that's easy.
Corner Pocket. Gavin, what was your favorite bar?
Jim?
Gavin, your name
I'm sorry, I thought I said Gavin.
No, it cut off.
I said Gavin so that Jim would answer.
Oh, okay. So, of course, mine was Rawhide. So
was Rawhide. What Big Fatty? What was the one that you were getting fucked in the back?
That was Rawhide.
That was Rawhide. I liked Rawhide. I ran into
Uh-huh.
people from Philadelphia there.
Did you?
Yeah, we did actually.
The guy's like, "You got to come over. We're gonna get you in this sling." And I'm like, "No." I told him straight out, "I'm not gonna have any time. I'm with friends. I'm with friends." I mean, they were really. It was nice. I liked that crowd. All the bars were good. Oh, I'm sorry, Gavin. Didn't he ask you the question?
I was
He
done.
did. He already answered Rawhide.
I
The
mean,
lady, especially the ladies' room at Rawhide.
yeah.
the ladies' room was quite fun at the Rawhide.
Uh-huh.
I was.
All right, go ahead, Gavin.
Let me tell you how I figured that out. Like everybody, all you guys had left, and I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like going to another bar. I'm just going to hang out here and have a couple beers. So I'm sitting there and I'm drinking, and I'm looking over and I'm like seeing all these people. I went back because there was nobody there that I knew. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go back against the wall. If someone wants to suck me off, that'd be great. But so I went back and sat, in the dark room up against the back wall.
Right.
And I started noticing, like, because I knew where the men's room was. And I was like, well, where are all these other people going when they go over there? Because they're going in this other room. And I know they don't all work here. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go. What are they going to do? Throw me out?
Right.
So, oh, well, I'll just go back to the hotel room. So I walked over and I opened the door and there was like 9 other people in there. And I was like, this is fucking awesome.
And it smelled like sex.
Yes. And I figured, well, let me try and get in because like I'm thinking, okay, I'm a fat guy. They might just say no. Whatever. No big deal. They made room for me. I came in and shit just happened. It was fun. What was that?
Southern boys like big butt.
Now, Jim, you were standing beside me, talking with me right before I met some of the locals there on Wednesday night.
Right.
And just can you just, without giving details, can you just relay what you were thinking as this was all beginning to go down?
Not too much. I was like, oh well, I didn't think anything of it really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll catch you later.
Like Big Fatty's Big Fatty's doing his thing, and I'm gonna. I don't want to be there and say, "Excuse me, you were talking to me." Dropped. I was, go. I did want to say, "Can I grab your camera and take pictures?"
Although Jim did have an inkling to go over and give you his chili recipe, but
oh, well, that would have been nice. But and what was it? RT Cruiser said later on, "How the hell does he do it?" Jim, I didn't do anything, did I?
No,
I was just standing there.
It's like I don't remember there being anything more than I remember you guys saying hello and a little bit of kidding around. I know I'm like kind of getting pushed out of the way a little bit. Not, and I was just like, well, time to move on. And there's Big Fatty over
doing his thing.
I did not even realize what was going on until you were already over the cases of beer.
Okay.
Someone said, "Where's Big Fatty?" And I said, "He's back there." And they're like, "You couldn't see him because the guy was quite big and muscular." And, what?
He was huge.
He was huge, yeah. And it was like, well, they're doing the thing. What are you going to do? That's what they're there for. Let them enjoy it. That's what he said.
For those people that ask how does Big Fatty do it, Big Fatty does it because he's friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Somebody, you catch some guy, you say hello, and sometimes that's all you need.
That's exactly right.
Well, and you're friendly to everybody, so people notice if you only are friendly with a certain group or type or whatever, and you're never that way. You're friendly to everybody.
You give off a very positive vibe.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten better if I stood still. I was walking all over the place.
Nobody likes a moving target.
There you go. A moving target.
Moving target.
Right. Well, it was a lovely way to start Pride 48. Sort of started it with a bang.
That's
so, by the way, Gavin, go ahead.
The first time I saw Big Fatty in action. And every time.
We don't need to tell everything we know, okay? Gavin, are you going to do birthdays?
Yes, actually, I have it open.
Oh, well, how about that?
Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. And gathers round and gifts and laughter do abound. We let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over.
Now today we want to throw a big happy birthday to Bjorn.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Who's
And
that?
on, do you have anything for tomorrow, Big Fatty?
I did well. The former host of Foul Monkeys that we're not allowed to talk about anymore, Roger,
Oh, okay.
is tomorrow.
Oh, that's weird. Because Julian's was just.
And then go ahead. What else you got?
I said Julian's was Friday. And then Monday we have All Roger, which is
Rambo Redhead.
Rambo Redhead's boyfriend or husband.
Oh,
Husband, yeah.
Wait, did he get married now? Finally?
Yeah, they got married.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. It was like during in the spring. Yeah. And of course, Monday is also Labor Day. Do you have anything else for Monday?
I do. It's your anniversary.
Oh no,
Mm.
it's actually the 6th.
You got to remind us, right?
Actually, the 6th. We looked it up finally, and it's a 6th. But that's fine. Thank you.
It's the
very much.
when?
The 6th.
The 6th?
Yeah, because if you go back to 1993, Labor Day on the 6th.
All right. Well, I'm going to put it down for the 6th then.
No, put it. We like it movable.
All right.
We always have a lot.
All right, Jim and Gavin.
Remember, it was actually the Friday of Labor Day weekend, but
I remember you ruined
All right, fuck it.
you technically you had it right.
All right.
Okay, Tuesday.
Do you have anything for Tuesday and Wednesday?
Nope.
Okay, and then on Thursday we have the Boy Genius, which is
Yes.
Hannah's.
Who's
Honest.
going to be like 16?
And I was,
Mhm.
have you seen him recently? He's a good
He's developed into quite the looker.
Yes, he has. Just very. I mean, I think he's taller than her now.
Yep.
16.
That's funny. I still think of him as being like first grade, second grade, or something, right?
Yeah, he was 5 when he started when she started playing the BFO for him.
And then on Friday, do you have anything else for Thursday?
Nope.
Okay, and then on Friday, it's Dan Pugh. Who,
Right. No,
Right.
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan Pugh Hogan.
Weird for those that don't remember Dan Pugh.
He's a fellow bourbon lover.
He also used to be very good in the chat room, also. So
Mm-hmm.
not that we
And
need to help, Mr. Mike, because you're wonderful. So
And also, it's Big Dick's birthday.
it's we'll have to
Oh, cool.
Okay. So
It was so much fun meeting them.
Oh, he cracked me up. We were sitting outside in the garage at the hotel, and across from our
wait a
hotel,
minute. You were sitting in the garage?
in the bay, the hotel bay,
the breezeway. Okay.
right? We were sitting there. It was like me, Jeremy, a couple other people, and Big Dick and Jonathan came down, and we're all sitting around. And I said, "Has anybody noticed the building across the street, the City Hall?" And they said, "Yeah. Does it look familiar to anybody else?" And they're like, "Yeah, it does." And I said, "Do you remember the hospital from Emergency?" And they looked, and it was like, "Oh my God, it looks just like it." I mean, it wasn't the same thing, but we all started reminiscing about all these TV shows. Middle of the night. I like Big Dick. It's funny. He got so
It's funny
excited.
because he doesn't say much, but when he does say it, it's pretty. He's pretty funny. But
Well, anyway, so I guess we'll go out to eat this coming weekend. So anyway.
Somebody's
Oh
screaming.
no, we'll be out of town. Oh well, we won't have to celebrate his birthday.
where are you going to be?
We're gonna be at Porn Star Weekend at the Hara Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
no,
Oh my gosh, already?
Patty.
Yeah, wow.
Right. Where are you going to be?
At the Hotel.
Oh, all right. You're not supposed to say the complex formerly known as or officially.
Oh, excuse me. Also now known as the Metropolitan Complex.
Now, when is Bear Weekend? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Jim, when is the weekend you're going?
October.
October the 4th or 3rd.
Oh, okay.
And after you're going, I'll be in Florida.
You'll be in Florida? Well, it doesn't matter anymore if you don't have a dog.
Take care of the cat.
Oh, fuck.
The cat will just sit there going, they fucking left me again. I don't know. Fuck them.
The parent
It took me like 2 days to come around.
Right.
And she wasn't acting all inflicted like we dumped her either.
She actually looked really healthy. I was like, oh, she better when we're not here.
Yeah,
She ate another cat while she was gone.
probably.
Anyway.
Fast asleep on a towel on the chair.
Is she?
Aw.
I'm going to feel
That's
bad.
where Gavin will be. Gavin will be fast asleep on a towel in a chair in a little while too. So,
I'm going to feel bad throwing her out of the house.
so, all right. Well, I need to go get ready to go out to the Dudley Do Rights.
All right. Where can we find your applicable links?
Well, last weekend you found them at where were we? New Orleans, and this week I'm back here in the villa. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Adam Burns has sent me. We've got an update. He says I'm not home, so limited ability to fix things. I'll email him.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll go nice and old school.
Did you tell him to not worry about it this week?
I said just text him at 856-3. Oh, wait a minute. And he will work on it after the show.
There you go.
Well, just text him back that don't worry about it till during the week.
Well, anyway.
So,
anyway, he's got your phone number. Boy, has he got your number.
Oh, you all got my number. Yeah, especially after this weekend.
He was hot dressed as a cowboy, wasn't he?
Adam?
Yeah, he looked kind of fucking.
I would have done him.
If I didn't
God,
know,
I'm now nauseated. Is that Tim in Alaska in the room?
It just says Tim.
Oh no, that must be Timmy Sims.
Oh, Timmy Sims.
Timmy Sims.
Hey.
Gavin can't wait to receive the cups I won. They look
Timmy
amazing.
Sims. That's awesome.
Adam has them. Tim, he's in charge of mailing that shit. I mean, those nice gifts.
Just remember, people, do not put them in the dishwasher.
Thank you.
Or the washing machine.
Or the washing
you
machine.
said.
Or the washing machine, as Gavin says.
I kind of figured everybody knew what I meant, but apparently not.
Yeah.
We did. We just wanted to give you crap for it.
And Timmy Sims, thank you for my shirt and cup and stickers. I put them in the washing machine. The cup in the washing machine and the shirt in the dishwasher.
Mr. Mike, it probably would never fit in anybody's microwave. It's a 32-ounce cup. It's like this big. So it's not going to fit in a microwave. But,
Night, Copy. Thank you.
Bye, Toppy.
Good night.
And the reason I know that they'll hold up is because I made it just to experiment at Christmas time when I bought it for myself. I made myself a sticker and I put it on my car. So it went all through winter and all through spring and all through summer, and it still looks like brand new. So it's going to hold up.
So you can put it out in the snow, just don't put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, well, the dishwasher is like high heat. So not a good idea.
So
they do hold up. They're made to be permanent. The vinyl that I use. So,
do you order the cups from like a company that does specific supplies for this machine, or do you just find random ones?
Yeah, I just found them on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
All I do is I make sure I clean them off good with alcohol, so that there's no oil underneath the vinyl, and it sticks just fine.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the number one fan shirts. Also, those they really came out nice.
I know. I'm glad everybody enjoyed them. And if you want, here's another reminder: when you wash shirts like that, wash them inside out, please. They will last longer.
Right.
But
I did.
They hold up because I have a couple of shirts I made back in January, Jim, right?
Yeah, it's 8:03.
And I still wear them regularly. Well, okay, let's go to the after show. We're on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter. But Jim, where can we find you?
Number one Funky Homo on Twitter and Tumblr.
And Blind Guy J, where can we find you?
J.R. Harris 2 on Facebook. So,
and you can find all of Toppy's applicable links at thesmellcast.com. And you can find my applicable links at one.blogspot.com, including the after shows when we do them, and the YouTube video links, and the Tumblr porn link, and my porn of the week, which I usually do. So I have a couple
porn of the week. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
The last thing is always the porn of the week. It's whatever I got off on that Saturday night.
Oh God, I'm gonna vomit now.
I have a couple lined up, so.
All right. Well, this was fun getting back together again.
Yep.
We're definitely
normal schedule every Saturday night. Almost every.
Thank you for calling. But now God knows anything goes. Good offers to once you bet the word now only.
Oh, no burps.
Oh no, I belched earlier. Poor Big Fatty. I'm out of practice. So. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.
Right.
Toodles. Toodles. Spellcheck usually changes that. Noodles
I have to urinate.
You have to. He has a hearing aid. Is that what he says?
Urinate.
That might be true as well.
Urinate. Okay. All right. Toodles. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Jim and Jay, carry on. I'll be right back.
All right.
We will. So Jay,
Yeah.
did you? I know you enjoyed New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
I would definitely go there again.
Mm-hmm. The thing that nobody talks about, and I almost brought up on the show, and then I went, no, I'll keep it positive, is it is the smelliest place I have ever been.
You're talking about when you're walking down the street, you would smell sewer or something
like urine and vomit and
wow,
and food. And when we were out on Bourbon Street, and I think with all the humidity, the smell just gets thick out there.
Okay, yeah, I was only on Bourbon Street Wednesday and Thursday, and I had a good time. And I mean, I could smell the toilets because their sewers are so close to the surface.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could smell the urine and feces on a lot of the side streets and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't like walking down the street. It wasn't like somebody was taking a shit on the side of the street. People were pissing. Like you could smell it in the sewer.
Right.
That I got, and like I was just kind of hoping it wasn't. It was almost like an old cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
That and the food smells like it took a while. Like I got the smell of that deep fried shrimp stuck in my nose.
Oh yeah, yeah. You smelled a lot of deep fried food.
And I'm sorry, I didn't eat a lot of deep fried food.
I ate enough of it. The cheese balls.
Oh,
the macaroni and then balls. Yeah, those were tremendous. Yeah. And then I did try hush puppies and dill pickles.
Oh, okay.
Deep fried. They were both delicious.
Really?
Yeah, the little hush puppies.
Right?
What's that?
Is that a potato?
It's cornmeal.
Oh, cornmeal.
Yeah, they're like little dough balls that are, cornmeal dough.
Okay.
And they just fry them, but it was interesting because I remembered this when I ate them, that they can be sweet. But I think last time I had them out here on the West Coast, and a lot of times the stuff here isn't really go with the sweet
Right.
flavor. So I think I had them with like more of a spicy,
Same flavor.
yeah, like savory, but it was like they had a little spice mixed into them, into the cornmeal and fried, and so they just had like a little kick, but no real sweet, or the sweet was super mild, and the sweet was pretty forward when I
Is it almost like
had them here.
would you consider it like more like a corn muffin or like a grit, deep fried?
Um, Almost right in between. Not quite as soupy as a grit, um, but yeah, having a little more texture,
Okay.
I guess.
One
So
thing now, Big Fatty's
now I
breakfast.
like grits too, and they're something that you now see out here more. Well, especially because I moved to a bigger city. But
Uh-huh.
like grits is not a dish that I ever remember hearing much about.
No.
But I know they're popular in the South, and um, I saw grits and smelled grits, and we had grits at our breakfast, and so I tried some of those that I added hot sauce to.
Did
So
you know what I put in them? I put they had stewed tomato, or not stewed. They called them what? Roasted tomatoes.
yeah, the little roasted tomatoes were delicious.
I put them in my grits.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And they were really, really good.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, they had a big selection of stuff, because I had one plate, and I thought like, oh, there was a few things up there that I might have wanted to try, but I was done by the time I had that one plate of food. It was a good sized plate, and I'm like, okay, I've had everything I want. I don't need a pastry, or um, they just had so much stuff out there that it was impossible to even try it all.
right. Well, I took little portions of everything. The
Hmm.
only thing I skipped was the little mini waffles. I was like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but that everything was so good.
Hmm.
Afraid if I ate the waffles, I would have never stopped eating them.
Yeah, it all sounded good, and it that's when you need two stomachs instead of one.
Oh yeah. Or Jay just came in the room.
Yeah.
We had problems connecting.
Yeah, okay, that's how we connected people.
I've heard the whole show. How did you connect the callers? Still Hangout.
Yeah, I'm still using Hangout because that way
Right.
that has nothing to do with the stream. So
Hmm. Hangouts works well.
yeah, I already told him that, Jim. He knows. Yeah, he's actually he's been watching on YouTube.
Oh, that's
Cool.
nice. Very good.
Well, my fun day included swapping out my kitchen faucet,
Oh God.
and because my other one was leaking. It's been one of those slow progressing things where I noticed a few months ago it would like drip,
Right.
and then you'd wait a while to drip, but it was like
Did you hear the drip?
very, very rare. And you could stand there a few minutes and you might hear a couple of them. And then it progressed to right before I left for New Orleans. I was trying to shut the water off, and I like shut it off, and I turned around and I was getting my my insulin pump ready, to change over where it attaches to your body. And all of a sudden I hear the water going again. And they turned around, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I know I shut that off. And I like went back there and pushed down on it. And almost immediately I heard this little gurgle, gurgle. And I don't think I don't know if the handle moves a tiny bit, but um, it starts again. And it was like, it's like the little, what would you call it, seal on the handle
Right.
got loose, and so the water pressure could move it just enough to start it dripping. And so anyway, so I got a nice, really nice faucet from Costco, and it was on sale, and I was super excited. And I crawled under there. It's always a task to work like up around the garbage disposal, and the sinks are hanging down. And
wait, you did this?
I did it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
curious than I am, because I would not know. We had somebody come do ours.
Well, so I get it all done, right? It takes a while. And Martin had to come hold it because where it's mounted, they put the little air gap next to the last faucet that was there.
Oh, okay.
Well, this faucet has the handle on the side, which has gotten really popular.
Right.
That like rotates, and it was hitting the top of the air gap when you tried to turn the water all the way to high, like the way it rotated out. And so it was like, oh, am I going to have to take out the air, or the little air gap, for the dishwasher, move it over a hole, and in the next hole over, which is the only one the hoses would allow it to reach to, is a hand soap dispenser.
Right.
And so I would have to move that too. And I'm just like, I don't want to move all these things. So I had Martin hold it so that it put the handle in just the right spot, kind of between the air gap thing and the windowsill, so that it can rotate in all directions it needs to and not hit anything.
Yeah,
what were you saying?
Two things I do not do is electric and plumbing.
I know a lot of people feel that way. Martin won't let me do electric, and because he won't help me. And I just need his eyes to tell me, is it white, black, green? Like what color is the wire? And I'm happy to do it, but he won't help me. And so he held the faucet, get it in, hook it up, everything works great. It's leaking from the inside of the faucet. Water runs down the water line tube that comes out of it, down under the sink. And then goes back up, because it's one of those faucets at the end of it comes loose, and you can move around and spray and all that. And so there's hose that dangles in there. So the inside of the faucet is defective. Water's coming out of it, because it's not something I can get up in, even if I took it all apart. It's like the internal guts of it, and they don't mean you to break into it, or at least I'm not going to do that.
No.
So I'm going to have to either just get a replacement one or a different one. And I would go
with a different one, because if you got a problem with getting the same one, you're going to end up with probably the same problem.
Yeah, I almost wonder too, right? If you order from Costco and they've got a bunch of them that they got like in that batch, could it be a defective batch with this kind of problem?
Right. That's my attitude. Like when I get something that doesn't work right, I'm like, I'm not going to go back and buy the same one.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, of course.
Yeah, and I think I may go with a different manufacturer, even if I do go with Costco.
Who was the manufacturer
of it? What is it? Hansgrohe?
I don't know.
It's Hansgroe.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, they've made faucets for a while. They're
I'm not
a good manufacturer, I think. But
I if it wasn't for our plumber, I wouldn't know names.
Yeah,
seriously.
We had one replaced. When was that? Like, it was spring, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Was it this spring or last spring? I don't remember. Anyway,
this year.
The reason ours got the same progressive problem, it was like you could find this little spot that would just be the right spot to have it at to keep it from leaking. But then, like, it got to the point where it was just a little leak, no matter where you put it, to the point where it was just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
And we were like,
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
mine did the same thing because a couple months ago, it was about finding that spot. You'd kind of rock it back and forth to,
right. I mean,
yeah.
we couldn't hear it. It wasn't like we could hear it from the bedroom because it's like all the way
Right.
in the
Oh,
house.
no, it
But
didn't bug us either. It just bugged me
it's,
when I was in the kitchen.
No, but you know what we did?
one
We
thing was spending the money on the water that we're just throwing away. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
we put the Brita filter, the filter pitcher or the pitcher filter, whatever, under the drip. So like if we stuck
Mhm.
an empty pitcher there, maybe by the time we got home we would have like half the pitcher filled.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
But it
There you
wasn't
go.
a fix. It was just a
We're
fix to the
frugal
waste. Right.
Is that you trying to connect again?
No. I'm saving pictures from the chat room, and I did it the long way.
Oh, okay. That noise is an interesting one, and I don't know. It seems to happen when you do some different things.
It's pretty much anything that's telling you you're doing it wrong.
Oh, okay.
So that's a you hit something wrong. That's one thing about doing this setup is like every noise that comes across my computer is going to play on. So if I hit like open a page and there's an ad on it, I have to listen to that too. So, but yeah, but I had a great time in New Orleans. I definitely hope they do that there again. So
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it
I
make?
think
Go ahead.
I think for the nightlife it was better, and I like the non casino kind of thing because the casinos I don't know, you get in there and they're it's I don't know, a lot of noise and just all the
Right.
ding 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 and machines going and whatever that like I liked New Orleans. It just seemed more I don't know, like what's a good word for it? It's there's like a humanity or a warmth about it that
right.
Casinos kind of I don't know, they suck the life out of you.
And there's history and there's you know what I mean. It's not and next time like maybe we'll go see they have shows there too. You can go to shows. So there are plenty of things to do there. I mean, next time we go, I'd like to go to that other what was that other club?
The Phoenix?
The Phoenix or Oz?
Phoenix. I wouldn't mind going there. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be that far away from getting back to the hotel.
Yeah, that one was the furthest one away, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's bad enough you got lost coming back from the close.
Well, by that time, like sometime actually this week, I'll probably put whatchamacallit
Uber.
What is it?
Or
Uber
Lyft
on my phone because I was surprised how cheap it was. I mean, we went to the what bar did I like?
Rawhide.
Rawhide. We went to the Rawhide. It was like $6.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, really? Like $6?
Yeah, and they're like, I took Lyft from the airport to the hotel,
right?
Yeah.
And it was $33, and I think it was a 30% off thing that they had told me, like if you take Lyft in this range, because I hadn't used one in a really long time, so I'm like, cool, and that worked nice because it gave me almost $10 off. The ride. So
how much was it? Like
$33? It was the full price.
The hotel from the airport to the hotel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very reasonable for individual ride. Because I think Super Shuttle was like 25. Somebody told me.
Yeah, it was 25. That's what I paid. I was curious. Now, if there's more than one person, would it be more money?
No, like you and Jim could have taken Lyft, and jumped in the same car.
Right.
Because Martin and I do that all the time. And So if each of you paid 25 on Super Shuttle, then you could have actually saved money by taking Lyft.
That's what I was at. That's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. Uber worked the same way too. Well,
Yeah.
I guess
It's not, it's whoever calls. Like our neighbors jumped in. We all got an Uber when we lived over in West Sacramento. And so Martin, Randy, and Evelina and I all jumped in the Uber ride, and we went out to a bar because we wanted to make sure all of us could drink.
Right.
And then I don't remember if they picked it up on the way out, I think, and then I picked it up on the way home, for all four of us. And it's like, what a great, easy way to just split up the cost of getting there and not have to worry about driving. And it was super cheap.
See, because I would say at least half of the reason that I personally, I don't know about Jim, but that I don't like to go out to Philadelphia is worrying about one of us can't drink. You know what I mean? And because he has to drive home, we could take
Yeah.
But if I could take an Uber to Patco, that's basically the same as going from the airport to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be pretty cheap, So, and then on the way home, I don't have to worry about how drunk I am. You know what I mean? Not that I'm a shit face, but that's actually nice to know.
Yeah, and if both of you are doing it, it's definitely a savings. Compared to some other ways of traveling where they care how many people there are.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you know what was funny? When we were taking the shuttle back home, or taking the shuttle to go to the airport, right? Gavin and I were down there waiting for the shuttle, and who shows up? Henrik shows up. RT Cruiser shows up. So
yeah,
here it is, like 4:00 in the morning, and we're all like, talking. You have a good time? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, did you know Gavin won the Vegemite?
That I won? Yes, I did.
Won the Vegemite.
Yeah. I heard that. That was great.
I'm actually taking it to work with me tomorrow or Tuesday. No, I guess it wouldn't be this. No, because we have one guy that only works Monday mornings. He goes to college. He only works Monday mornings part time.
So you want to make sure he can enjoy that as well?
Well,
so you have to wait.
I asked them, and they all said they would do it.
Okay.
I'm going to take it into work, and they're gonna let me videotape them trying Vegemite.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to try and get a couple of the Spanish girls too. There's a couple that work like two seats down from me, and they're real cool. They're real nice.
See if you can get them the saltine crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I probably could. You know what? When we go to shopping tomorrow, I'll get some saltine crackers.
Saltines are a good way to do it. Nice thin layer.
But I asked them, and they were all like, "Yeah, I'll try it," because none of them had any idea. And then one of the guys texts a friend of his that's from Australia, who does not like Vegemite apparently. And what was the first thing out of his that he texts back? Tastes like taint.
That's come up before. Came up this last weekend.
Yep, and I said the first thing out of my mouth was, "How does he know what taint is?"
Right.
Apparently, he's been down there. He's been down under. So he's gonna. They all said they'd try it. So they're all ballsy anyway.
Yeah.
Young. So
fun. Well, enjoy.
It'll be interesting. So I'll post it on Facebook.
Cool. So. I better run because I need to go feed Gerard, and I got the reminder that it's time for his heartworm, flea, tick medication, and he takes one that is it's the oral one called Trifexis,
right?
And it is the worst smelling, big, huge, like horse pill.
He loves it, right?
No, he almost refuses. Like he clamps his jaw closed, and I have to pry his jaw open.
Oh, you have to talk to him.
Stab it down his throat as far as I can get it. Close his mouth.
You have to talk
hold
to your vet.
it and like stroke his throat and until he swallows.
Have you tried wrapping it in a piece of cheese?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've tried peanut butter. I've tried all kinds of things, and he eats them off of it, and until there's only a small layer because he doesn't even want to lick it. So he'll leave a little bit of cheese or peanut butter
You need
on
to
there,
talk
but
to your
not eat the tablet.
you need to talk to your vet because we had one that tasted. The vet said the dogs love it. It tastes like liver,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's the heartworm only. But if you
Yeah.
want the heartworm, flea, and tick,
Oh, okay, yeah,
right?
all
Mine
right,
covers all three, and they're all concerns out in my region.
right.
And it's the only one that does all three, and it has to be oral, and they don't have a chewable. I so wish they had a chewable. Like
Well,
I keep hoping one of these days, but
the other nice thing about Cookie was he was a glutton. Like I guess because she was starved when she was a baby because she was not taken care of by her first owners.
Mm-hmm.
So like you give her something like a piece of chicken, she basically swallows it whole.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, if it smells good, she's gonna like swallow it down. Give her a carrot, she'd spit it out. She loved grapes and watermelon, but so like if there was something she didn't like, we would wrap it in anything, and she would just swallow it whole.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a piece of chicken if you stick in a piece of chicken.
Yeah, I've tried multiple things, and he can fish it out of food. I tried making the food soupy, and then he refused to eat all of the food.
Oh,
so yeah, it's
probably better off just sticking with what you're doing.
Yeah, as ugly as it is, it's like okay, only once a month, and it's not that terrible. So
you know what we used to do with my dog growing up is we would stick the pill, like she's got the flaps on the side of the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Stick it in there and push it back.
Mm-hmm.
And work it through the gums into the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He can spit it right out, and this one's too big to work through. Teeth on the side. I have to pry it open and shove it down his throat, and he is trying to use his tongue to kick it out as quick as he can.
Once it's past the teeth, if you hold their mouth shut, eventually they're going to swallow.
Yep, exactly. Well, and especially if you cover his nose.
Yeah.
Because I'll hold his mouth, and he'll refuse to swallow, and so finally it's like, okay, I'll just hold my hand over your two little nostrils, and eventually he swallows because he's trying to get air.
Yeah. I guess so. Give him something, a treat afterwards.
Yeah. I always give him a little more food. So or like tonight I'm going to do it. I'll start serving his dinner. That's why I want to get off the call. Is I'll start dishing it up, and he'll be sitting there, and the drool will be forming. Which lubricates his mouth nicely, and then I'll stab the pill down his throat, like when he's drooling, and then he can eat his dinner to wash the nasty taste away.
Oh, Lord. All right.
I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Have a wonderful night.
Have a you too. You guys enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Enjoy it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody, happy Labor Day.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for the pouring in the room, Mr. Mike.
Yes. Everybody have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. All right. See you next week. Glad to be back. Bye-bye.